All right, let's jump right in. We are cracking open one of the most notorious political guides ever written, Niccolò Machiavelli's The Prince. And look, this isn't some dusty old history lesson. This is a ruthless, totally timeless guide on how to get power and, way more importantly, how to keep it. We're going to zoom in on one of his most brilliant problems. What on earth do you do with a brand new conquest?
So just imagine it for a second. You did it. Maybe through war, maybe through some clever scheme, you've just added a new piece to your kingdom. The victory party is over, everyone's gone home, now what? Well, according to Machiavelli, the real work, the truly dangerous part, is just getting started. Because taking territory, that's one thing. Keeping it, well, that's a whole other beast.
And this is what Machiavelli calls the conqueror's dilemma. It really gets to the core of why new conquests are so unstable. See, it's the problem that pops up when you try to stitch together the old and the new. He had a very specific name for this kind of political creation, and once you get it, his whole playbook just clicks into place.
He calls it a mixed monarchy. Now, this isn't some kingdom you inherited from your dad where everybody knows the family name and things just kind of tick along. No. This is a hybrid. It's your old, stable kingdom fused with this new, totally volatile territory you just took over. And it's that mixed part that makes the whole thing so incredibly explosive.
I mean, just look at the difference here. A regular old hereditary monarchy, that's kind of like playing on easy mode. Your people are used to you, they're used to your family. As long as you don't mess things up too badly, you're probably fine. But a mixed monarchy, that is expert level. Machiavelli says instability isn't just a risk, it's practically inevitable. And why? Because you are absolutely, positively, 100% guaranteed to make everyone angry.
And that anger, it doesn't just come from the people you beat in battle. Machiavelli points out this brilliant political trap, a real catch-22, that every single new ruler stumbles right into, whether they want to or not.
And here it is. This is the heart of the problem. Okay, so first, you've obviously made enemies of the people you just conquered. You hurt them, you took their land, of course they hate you. But what about your local buddies, the ones who helped you, who opened the gates hoping you'd make things better? Well, you can never, ever give them everything they were dreaming of. Their expectations are just way too high. So what are you left with? A conquered people that resents you, and your friends who now feel totally betrayed. You're completely stuck.
And to prove his point, Machiavelli pulls out the perfect case study from his own time, King Louis XII of France. This guy just waltzed into the city of Milan, and almost as fast as he got there, he got kicked right back out. His failure is basically a masterclass in what not to do.
So let's just break down this total train wreck. First, just like Machiavelli said would happen, the locals who initially welcomed Louis were immediately let down. He couldn't deliver on his promises. But he couldn't get tough with them either because, well, he still needed their help. But his biggest blunders? Pure strategic malpractice. Instead of weakening the big players around him, he made one of them, the Pope, even stronger. And then, and this is the killer, he invited another huge power, Spain, right into Italy. He basically gave a rival a key to his own back door.
Okay, so if Louis XII gives us the perfect example of what goes wrong, what's the right move? Well, learning from failures exactly like this one, Machiavelli lays out a cold, calculating, and just brutally effective playbook for how you can win where Louis failed so badly.
Here are his 5 key moves. Number 1, you the ruler have to move in. You have to live there, see problems firsthand, and show everyone you're actually invested. 2, send colonies of your own people to live there. It's way cheaper than a big army, and it puts down loyal roots. 3, make friends with the weaker neighbors. Protect them, sure, but keep them dependent on you. 4, actively work to undermine any strong rivals in the region. And 5, the big one, whatever you do, keep other powerful foreign countries out. Do not make the same mistake Louis did.
Now, Machiavelli didn't have to invent this stuff out of thin air. He saw a group that had already followed this playbook to absolute perfection, centuries before he was even born, the Romans. For him, they were the ultimate role models for how to do conquest right.
I mean, just look at their conquest of Greece. It is a textbook case of his 5 rules in action. They made friends with weaker states, but they kept them on a tight leash, never letting them get too big for their britches. They systematically took apart the power of the regional giant, Macedonia. And when a powerful outsider, a guy named Antiochus, tried to get involved, they slammed the door right in his face. It was just a flawless execution.
This little scorecard here just says it all, doesn't it? The Romans weakened the strong. Louis made the strong even stronger. The Romans kept their allies close but dependent. Louis alienated his. And the absolute fatal difference? The Romans kept powerful foreigners out, while Louis basically rolled out the red carpet for a rival that would end up destroying him.
So, all of these examples, the good and the bad, the successes and the epic failures, they all lead Machiavelli to one single, overarching rule. A principle so basic, so fundamental, that he says it's true in pretty much every single situation.
It all comes down to this one idea, a rule that Machiavelli claims almost never fails. To help another ruler grow powerful is to prepare your own ruin. Think about it. Every advantage you give a competitor, every bit of power you let them have, is a weapon that they can, and probably will, use against you one day. Louis XII handed power to the church and to Spain, and in doing that, he basically signed his own political death warrant.
And that leaves us with a really big question for today, doesn't it? 500 years later, in our world of complicated alliances, of corporate partnerships and global politics, does Machiavelli's ice-cold warning still hold up? When one country helps another grow its influence, or one company helps a smaller rival get bigger, are they just setting the stage for their own downfall? That's definitely something to chew on. Thanks for joining this explainer.
If you enjoyed this summary and want to explore the complete book, you'll find the link in the description below. Thank you so much for watching, and happy reading.